lot has happened during this period of the coronavirus. Airlines have axed their route schedule, engine suppliers are seriously struggling, iconic aircraft have been retired, and the overall economy has been totally battered by the events of the pandemic. To the average aviation enthusiast, it can get quite confusing to be top of the news. So let's go through the main talking points that has occurred during these past few weeks. So Airbus has cut all production by 33% for the foreseeable future, with the A320 slashed from 63 a month that it had only just reached to 43. A350s, which were due to rise to 14, had already been cut to 10 because of deferments and will currently stay around that number. A330neo production will be cut to 2 per month for at least 6 months and probably longer. Now there's no word of the A380, due to end early next year. The last aircraft is already in assembly. The plan to replace the A380 production line at Toulouse with an additional A321 assembly line to supplement the Hamburg line has been scrapped as of yesterday. Even with these cuts, many people think it's not enough and another 20% cut may be needed. This would be a massive blow as so much was invested by so many companies in Europe and around the world to raise production to record levels. Now EasyJet will defer 10 aircraft it was due to take delivery of this financial year, as well as further 12 in 2021 and 2 in 2022. In addition, the airline retains the options to defer a further 5 deliveries in 2022. The airline also has 24 operating leases due for renewal in the next 16 months, which they have said provided further flexibility. In effect, they won't bother renewing them and can lose 24 from its fleet if that seems right at the time. So the bottom line is, EasyJet won't take delivery of another aircraft until at least 2022. Now, British Airways has refuted its claims that it sent 6 A380s to Châtellerault for scrapped. The Times wrote an article implying so. However, 6 are there and will be stored for up to 6 months until further notice. British Airways has a long relationship with Châtellerault, often using it as a training site for new aircraft types, especially after the closure of Manston in Kent in 2014, where the first A380s trained, drawing huge crowds. Now TUI AG has received a 1.8 billion credit line from the German government. The airline was in a very strong position, but it needs credit facility to tie it out over the next few months. And Brussels Airlines has said it will remain grounded until May the 15th at the earliest. They're currently undergoing maintenance on its aircraft while it can. Now US airlines are pumping out reams of press releases to make sure we all know that they're doing their best. And the latest from United shows them flying medical volunteers to California. In all fairness, the British Airlines are just a PR active, making sure that we all know the grounded staff are being loaned by the companies to help fight the pandemic. Now these people are volunteering because they care about the current situation and we all appreciate it. But for some of the airlines to take credit for allowing them to do so just seems a little wrong to me. Also, American Airlines has withdrawn all of its 757s rather quietly, and they're all based at Roswell, with it looking highly unlikely that it will return to service. The terms of a bailout for Virgin Atlantic seems mildly distant but very likely. The airline has said to have just £83 million in cash left. Manchester Airport has joined the Heathrow Airport and Rolls-Royce in pleading with the UK government for a bailout for the airline. Manchester said it was crucial to the city as a major transatlantic passenger airline moving 1 million people from the airport each year. Richard Branson has said that he will put £250 million of his own money into the airline, with the government that's largely seen as what's left of his personal wealth outside of the Virgin Group, which actually has a few resources. Now Rolls-Royce is starting to panic about its loss of income. They pioneered pay-as-you-fly engine leasing. Basically, it gets a fixed sum of money for each mile the engines fly, so when they're grounded, the company is actually earning nothing. Now US airlines aren't liking the terms of the US Treasury bailout. Many of them, supported by unions, feel like they should just be given cash, but the Treasury wants at least 30% of it back over time. Many people are thinking why that's a problem, and airlines made big profits recently, and if they had spent less time and money buying their own shares back to make investors richer, they don't need so much bailout as of the moment. As their values head towards zero, a real possibility, and the longer this crisis lasts, the US government could well up being the world's biggest airline owner. Without government involvement, virtually every airline in the US will collapse by June. From Boeing to IAG to Delta and American, they have based their bonus schemes for directors not on company performance in terms of revenue or profit, but on share price. Now there is so much concern that the same thing could happen again if the money in the US, European and the British governments provide as bailouts isn't as more heavily regulated. It's also the reason airlines are barking at the idea of having to pay it back. However, if they don't take what's on offer this time, not one of the giant US airlines will survive, and that can't be allowed to happen, and the government knows it, which means nationalizing them, even temporarily, something nobody wants. So the irony of it all is that eventually, airlines will almost certainly face tighter regulations across the board. Many feel that they've been let down in the pursuit of profits, and their survival must have changed as part of the survival package. So there you go, captains, very juicy news happening these days. If you have any thoughts or opinions regarding this, then do share them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon.